What the hell?
Man, this episode's looking really seedy. Our lighting is so weird.
Yeah. No, yours isn't so bad. It's just mine.
I mean, it could be better.
I need some more. Need some more volume in my light. Whoa. Maybe just a little.
Less.
Oh, is that doing a thing?
Oh wow, that's a weird effect.
Yeah, I think it's the type of light that it is. What about this one? Just
wow, you're having a full strobe.
Sorry. Yeah, I think I'll just keep that off for the moment.
Hey, Nerdburger, how you doing?
Hey.
But yeah, no, I went to Melbourne yesterday. And
you don't say.
Myself some merch.
The merch.
It's my gum fruit.
Did you try eating it?
Yeah.
No.
I'm slightly more stretchy now.
Slightly?
Yeah. Yeah, my back's not as bad. So
nice. Nice. The back's feeling better.
I mean, it's not better. It's just
it's feeling a little bit better.
Yeah, it's getting there. It's still not good.
Hi everyone. Welcome to episode. What are we? 83.
83.
Episode 83.
Oh god, it's actually really hot.
Yeah, it's still pretty toasty around here. Still clocking like 29 degrees.
I think we're like 30 around that.
Yeah.
I also picked up a new manga while I was in Melbourne, called Snowball Earth. It's been on my radar for a little bit. And I saw it and was like, screw it. I need some retail therapy. So we'll be talking about that. It's a Viz published one, similar to 100.
Okay. Yeah.
I think.
It's nice to take a punt on a new series.
Yeah.
With no clue. No clue what's going on.
Spoiler alert. I really dig it. I read the first volume on the way home from Melbourne. So I had like a good 4 hours to burn.
Yeah, I was about to say that and then some.
Yeah. So it was really good. I had a lot of fun with it. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah, we will.
I feel like there was some more news, but I can't remember what it is.
News-wise, there's once again there's news, but the news is all stuff we've heard. Nothing super outstanding. No new shows announced. Nope. Still, there's a lot of talk surrounding the new anime done by the director of Cowboy Bebop. What is it? I forgot the name of it now.
Watanabe?
Yeah, Watanabe's new. I want to say it's a movie, but I think it's actually a series.
Nice.
And has the action director of John Wick. So people are a bit hyped for it.
Yeah, that could be cool.
Yeah, it's got a really, really interesting premise. There's been a lot of talk about it for a while now, but it's basically about a doctor who develops basically a vaccine for death. So all diseases and stuff like that. So people are on Earth, living the life because they don't have to worry about disease or any of that sort of stuff. And then the dude turns around and goes, "Oh, by the way, I put like a timer on everything, and everybody's going to die at this time."
We're all immortal until I say otherwise.
Yeah. And it's just about a team of people trying to track down the Doctor to stop that happening. So
cool.
Lots of cool action. That's a super vague sort of description of the series of the show, but you know, that's what you want. You don't want to walk into this with knowing too much. I think the less you know about it, the better.
All right, I'm down.
I'll track the name down. I'll track the name down.
Please do. Alrighty. What do you got for us in the way of news?
No, honestly, nothing. That was pretty much everything I had.
All right.
There hasn't been any announcements.
Rumblings on the internet that the new episode of ReZero is going to be another banger, as the kids say. we're looking at so a gentleman by the name of Vincent that's gone pretty popular for his work on the One Piece episode King versus Zoro and a few other projects that he's worked on is going to be leading the combat, I think, for this upcoming episode airing tomorrow.
Okay. That will make things interesting.
If you're watching ReZero, look forward to that. It's really good, though. I would recommend picking up on it.
Yeah, if you're not watching,
don't do it like Logan though. Watch all of it. Don't skip season 2 for some weird reason.
I didn't do it on purpose. I didn't. I thought I'd watched more than I had, and I hadn't. And it turns out that I just needed to recap in season 3. I feel like I didn't miss much though.
I mean, for what's happening in season 3, no.
If you watch season 1 and then watch season 3, I feel like season 2 doesn't really account for much.
A lot of character growth and some background machinations. Good God. Definitely will be playing in later, I believe. Because it feels like season 3 is a bit self-contained almost. But there has been a few like references to other things that are going on. I mean, you don't know who Garfield is, right? I don't think he was in season 1.
No, he wasn't. But I kind of got the gist of his character.
Yeah, I know, but like, nah. But
I know there's like a backstory, and anybody watching it should probably watch it from start to finish. You won't be disappointed watching it, but at the same time, I don't feel like I missed anything too major, and I'm enjoying.
Yeah, but I'm gonna make you go back. So.
Yeah, I know you're probably gonna twist my arm. Just keep sending me texts.
Well, you probably finish season 3 and you'll be like, kind of want more.
Yeah,
I'll have like a whole 24 episodes left to go back to.
That's right. Not like you suck.
It's a weird way of doing it, but you do you.
This season will end and you'll have nothing, while I'll have everything. It's like watching a.
I really like the. What was the White Whale arc? I'm pretty sure that's season 2.
That's season 2, yeah. They don't cover that in season 1. So, yes. Lazarus is the name of the show. Sorry.
Oh, okay, cool.
Being produced by Mappa. Because, they're not busy enough.
I think I saw the manga for that while I was in Melbourne as well. It looked pretty cool.
I don't know if it's based on the manga. I think it's an original work.
Maybe I'm thinking of a different one that has a very similar title.
Yeah, it's written by him.
Might be
written by Watanabe as well. So yeah.
Well, thanks, man. Way to throw me under the bus.
Yeah, sorry.
Fuck me, I guess.
Sorry. Well, you know, you kind of threw yourself under the bus. I was holding on to your hand and you just jumped.
I tripped and fell, okay? Ashura's Verdict has actually got a recommendation from Horikoshi.
Nice. I told you it's a cool series.
I know. I still need to get around to it. I was pretty much reading Kagurabachi on the way down to Melbourne, and then Snowball Earth on the way back. With more Kagurabachi.
You're reading a light novel in between reading some Snowball Earth.
I'm really enjoying it though.
You know what I mean?
Kagurabachi is really fun.
Like,
God, the art's amazing.
It's funny watching a lot of the art squeeze around the text bubbles. Like they're really struggling to fit like the heads in and stuff like that around the speech bubbles. So it's fascinating to watch how it rolls out. But as soon as they stop talking, it's phenomenal. Like the artwork is just beautiful to look at. I know it sounds terrible. It's just too much explanation.
Currently, I think I'm 20 chapters behind now, so I'm making some pretty good progress. I've gotten into the post auction arc now, where they're trying to teleport the swords to the alive sword wielders to break the
cycle.
Stalemate.
Yeah. I will admit that I kind of I'm still reading it. Like I'm reading it in the sense that I'm just sort of
consuming it.
I'm really just looking at the pretty pictures, and I still understand kind of what's going on. The continuity is pretty simple to follow without all the words.
You're a monster.
No, I'm just saying that it doesn't need to be so wordy. It really doesn't.
Okay.
It carries pretty well without it. It carries really well without it, and I don't think it needs to happen.
I know what you're talking about.
Like the artwork actually flows really nicely, and I feel like the characters are forced to talk. Like they don't actually want to say what they want to say, but it feels like they're being pushed to do it. And a lot of the conversations feel forced as opposed to a natural sort of evolution.
I wonder how much maybe editor influence is being like them over the shoulder, being like, you need more information input here, you need more dialogue here.
Only if it's the editor for JJK.
No, but that makes sense.
Yeah, that would make more sense then. If it was the editor for JJK, I'd understand. Doesn't mean I like it. And I know Kagurabachi is like one of the biggest.
I can't believe it's got an anime already.
Yeah, I know, it's kind of outrageous. And when you, when you look at
it's got enough there for sure, but like, it's barely been. It's what, a year and a half.
If that. What are we on?
It's 70 chapters.
Yeah, so a year and a half. Wow, it's been a year and a half already? That's crazy. Yeah, it has. Oh my god.
So I'm kind of glad that I do have a lot to kind of just read whenever I
want. Big old chunks.
Yeah. It similar to like Snowball Earth, I feel like it's read much better in like a tank format, like 5 chapters. Yeah. Boom.
Yeah, I read a few chapters of Snowball Earth. Hey, do you want to lead into that? You want to talk about it?
Nah, I'm just gonna tease
Not
it.
yet?
Okay. I'm teasing it all throughout the episode.
Righto. I'm
like, hang on. Nah, you shut up. I had a segue for this, which already got derailed.
No.
So Horikoshi is actually coming back to do
an extra bit.
Postscript. I've forgotten the term. Epilogue. That's the one I was
Epilogue.
after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, you know the word. What are you doing?
I did. I was blanking. So he's got an epilogue chapter coming out for My Hero Academia. I think June is month I heard.
Okay.
There are rumblings that this could be a lead into like a sequel, a Boruto situation, which would be weird but kind of cool because they already did like Vigilante, so it's already had its spin-off series.
Yeah, but it's not like that was
But also
more of a prequel
big
than it
world
was a
too.
sequel.
Yeah, it was. I'd be so happy if we got like Vigilantes post MHA, like a continuation. I'd be cool with that.
That would be interesting.
Yeah. I'd be very cool with him even continuing the story like post them being out of the high school. I don't know why at the moment I've got such a vendetta against high school setting.
Because you've seen too many now. Too
Maybe. I have actually in saying that. I think I'm one chapter behind now with Marshall King.
That's it. That was your trigger, right? That's the thing that's made to snap.
It has grown on me a little bit, but I don't know what it is. I'm noticing a trend of me being anti-school settings.
It's I feel like Marshall King, he's doing just like he's kind of willy-nilly. I don't know if he has a plan because it doesn't feel like he has a plan. There's probably a plan, but it doesn't feel like there's a plan. Which is good. Like it's a master stroke if he's done that, he's planned it, and it makes it feel like it's not planned. You know, that's good work.
Very quickly pivoted from the school setting to I'm stealing the magnum to end all magnums.
Yeah, I'm stealing the Excalibur gun.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's literally set in like a mechanical stone of sorts under lock and key, and he's there to steal. It was a rather interesting chapter actually. He laid out a lot of information in a single chapter, but at the same time didn't like it's just like there's no story. You get where I'm at.
Yeah,
it's like stuff's just going sideways and things are layering on top and nobody really knows what the other person's doing. It feels like there's no sort of prediction and the characters are just doing what they want to do, and they're all in their own path. So there's no sort of like combined story happening. It's just like spaghetti thrown on a plate. It's delicious, but I have no idea, why.
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna leave it for a bit, and I'm gonna read this with like say 5 chapters in the bank, which I think it's gonna read a lot better like that. I think it's gonna struggle for a week-to-week title initially.
I've got like 3 new series that are upcoming.
Upcoming? Like
yeah, like I know one of them starting in April. So we'll get to that. Oh my god. Got
have a drink.
Ever since coming home from Melbourne.
You got the cooties.
Just like it was really smoggy, like all day. It was just a haze.
It's just Melbourne. If you can't handle the haze, get out of the smog.
What are you even talking about?
Doesn't matter.
So there was we got some numbers revealed for some series. Goku Rakugai has sold 1 million copies in circulation with only 4 volumes now. And that's just Japan. I sell Goku Rakugai at work now as well. So like,
nice.
A lot of bookstores around Australia have got them now. It's not bad. I need to check to see the Tunk releases to see if some of those chapters that were early on that were a bit rushed.
It's super pretty.
Polished.
Like it's a
it's
a great looking series.
You can tell it was very much like the Jujutsu Kaisen when he was having some health problems and he strategically chose where the weakest drawings were going to be and put time and effort into the ones that were going to need that extra love to still get that impact and that weekly release. But then when the tankobons came out, that was all fixed up. So I was just curious if it was the same case with Goku Rakukai, because I was getting concerned for the mangaka early on.
Just because of the quality of the work, or
just seeing like it dip kind of early. I think it was like chapter 3 or 4. And like it wasn't really like atrociously unfinished or anything. It was just you could see the unpolished nature of a couple of panels, and it wasn't necessarily for like dramatic effect or anything. You could tell that it was like this was a rushed thing.
Just ran out of time. Which I can vouch for. That sort of shit happens. You just run out of time. Doesn't mean they're crap at their job. It's just mean they're putting a lot more effort in than we realize, and sometimes you just run out of time. Like that doesn't happen in like half a day. That's
that's because his series is finished now.
Yeah, no, the guy's got time on his hands now. You can relax and do stuff like this.
Gorgeous, though, isn't it? So for audio only people, I've just put up a key visual for the My Hero Academia exhibition that will be held in Tokyo starting June, which would be so cool to go to. Just to be in Japan, honestly, but just this piece it alone looks.
I wish a few of the galleries around here would pick up this stuff.
Right?
I think it would be incredibly popular. It would go down really, really well.
Yeah. Like, even if it was because what's the one in Melbourne? The one with the big fountain?
One with the big fountain?
It's near the CBD, I can't remember.
Acme.
What? Like
you're referring to the gallery?
Yeah.
Yeah. Acme.
Like
Australian Centre for Moving Images. Acme. That's where they hold all the anybody that does animation that has some sort of exhibition. That's where it's held.
No, not okay. I wasn't specifically talking like the animation one. I was like talking just like the normal art gallery.
Oh, the National Gallery of Victoria.
Maybe.
NGV. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the one. Yeah. I knew there was an acronym, and I just couldn't remember what it was. Man, I could see it in my head. I'm like looking at it. I'm like, I don't remember what you're called. Because I went and saw. It was very off topic. Alexander McQueen's exhibition there. They could easily in one of their sections that they've got for those sorts of exhibitions have.
They could
the manga exhibitions. It'd be so cool. And with all the, especially if they marketed it properly, there would be people coming Australia-wide to come and see that sort of shit.
Oh, yeah. And if they did, if they covered like a bunch of Shonen Jump stuff, like My Hero, and a few others, I think there would be.
I know there's a
plenty enough material.
Tokyo Ghoul. I know that there are others, but those are the ones that I know of. Like they've done mini exhibitions at like the Madman Festival back in the day. That's where I think I saw the Tokyo Ghoul one, which was really cool. But it was like a tenth of like the exhibition of in Japan. So it'd be cool if we did get more stuff like that. But
man, those first few anime fests were fantastic.
Right?
Oh, I miss them. I really do miss them. Off topic slightly. Off topic.
Sakamoto Days has reached 8 million copies in circulation with 21 volumes.
Nice.
To give you an idea as to why Kagurabachi is getting an anime so quickly, 1.9 million copies with only 6 volumes in circulation.
Yeah.
So it's cranking out those numbers.
I don't know what is it that's sort of hitting people. I'm really curious.
I think the meme really helped get its name recognized and got a lot of people like to take a chance on it early on. Plus, it's just a fun little series that just feels like you're watching like a old school action movie. Like it has that same sort of energy to it.
Yeah.
Like it's really cool in places, but not to an edgy degree. It takes itself seriously when it needs to, but then other times it's kind of slapstick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a little slapsticky now and then.
It's well balanced, I think.
Look, I keep going back to JJK on this one because I feel like it's got a very similar vibe in pace and sort of direction. Like it's always on the move.
No shade to Jujutsu, but I feel like it's just a more cohesive version of that type of storytelling.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. It's more sequential. Yeah. But it's similar in the sense that it doesn't stop. It doesn't take a breath. It just keeps piling, because when it's not in action mode, it's piling text on you, and when not piling text on you,
it really
in
does.
action mode, and it's either one or the other. It doesn't, it's not just taking a breather,
Yeah, it's like exposition dump and then really cool action set pieces.
Yeah, this is what we're gonna do and how we're gonna do it, and now watch us do it.
It allows for that ebb and flow, and I don't necessarily think that it's done poorly, but yeah, it really throws a lot of lore and even character motivations, which like I just got done with one of the sorcerers, that he wasn't one of the ones that killed his father, but I'm actually up to volume 6 of the manga. I'm just seeing the PV for the release. So it's where they start introducing 2 more of the swordsmen that have been bound to the swords, and the magicians that stole the swords. One of their youngest members has confronted Chihiro about, the very typical villain thing where they do we're both killers, we're exactly the same, and it's just like,
I like that guy. I like that guy.
On a fundamental level. So I've just gotten done with that, and that was really cool. And you didn't really need much setup for him. He was I feel like he's gonna maybe come back into it, but he's got no arms now, so I don't know.
Yeah, that'll do something. That'll do something. No doubt. They'll attach
the head of the that sorcerer's guild It's coming off very cool, calm, collected, giving me very like the mafia boss dude from My Hero. Like he's very calculating.
Yeah.
So plans on top of plans on top of plans.
Predicting what they're going to do, all that sort of stuff. It's like it's not a bad series. It's just not my vibe.
I actually thought it was really cute that he planned for the young dude to fail and for him to use that as a learning experience. I'm like, man, this guy gets it. This guy knows how to train up henchmen. They're not completely disposable.
No, you got to let them learn.
I don't know. Actually, I thought it was a bit refreshing.
Yeah. Some like, I guess you see so many henchmen just being butchered in this series. You don't really think about it too much.
They really do.
Like I would like to see a body count at this point of the amount of people he's cut through on his search of vengeance.
Yeah. It was definitely something, I guess, that was needed to be addressed at some point, because as high and mighty and righteous as they are, there's a lot of people dead in his wake.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and not all of them are bad people. Like, he's responsible for a lot of deaths indirectly as well. So, like...
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean.
Especially like, because his dad made the swords, and those swords are now in the hands of some not very good people.
And not just like that, but they're becoming a lot more active because he's active. So things are moving quicker because he's moving to stop them. So things are not... they're progressing, but not as calculated as they could have been. Like under the table level calculated. Now everything's on top of the table, and everything has been...
feels like free flowy.
Yeah. Everybody's having to think on the fly. Like there's an overarching story and a plot, and you know, and we're going to do this plan, but then it's just like we're going to kind of throw this out the window a little bit because things aren't going quite the way they're meant to. That's the fun component of it.
Yeah, it feels loosely planned, but then he kind of lets his characters
tie it together,
go off.
Yeah, I hope at some point he actually comes to terms with the amount of violence he's... I mean, he was such a mopey Myrtle at the start. He's loosening up a lot more now. But he was like full emo kid early at the start. A lot less talking, but now he's all chatty.
I like the conversation around what it is to be a hero, and a lot of the ones that he looks up to are definitely people that you would classify as a hero, but they reject the title.
Yeah, because they're just people.
Yeah. But then you've got people that are claiming to be heroes that are really undeserving, or they're dodgy in some respect. Or, like
that's because heroes don't do it to be called hero.
Yeah, it was a nice little deconstruction.
Yeah.
I think we mentioned it last week, but Magokoro Scramble by Satoshi Taninaka. I should have just continued with it. I got scared.
I did not read any of that. Sorry.
No, it's finished. Ended today with chapter 17. So the final volume 2 will be going on sale March.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yesterday. Cool.
Right.
Nice.
I've
been periodically opening tabs over the week, and so I half read it as I was telling you, and it must have been one of the older posts that I had opened.
Right.
There was another one. Actually, no, there was one coming off hiatus. I haven't started this one either. Waiting for the Sunlight. It's a Jump Plus title. It's resuming after being on a brief hiatus, starting back April 10th. with chapter 7.
Okay.
The art style kind of looks
interesting,
more like a traditional sort of. It looks old, like
is it World War II biz?
Yeah, I think so. It gives me like, it looks like it could have been from the 80s to me.
Yeah,
like purposely chosen to replicate, obviously, like the era that they're
the time period that they're looking at, or influenced by. Yeah. I might have to have a look at it actually and see what it's all about.
Yeah. Well, you have until when's April 10th?
Got to catch up in 2 weeks.
Nah, you got like a month. Till the show after it comes back will be April 16th, so you've got till then.
I know.
Switching back to some more copies sold, Ruri Dragon has sold nearly 1 million copies with 850,000 copies with only 3 volumes out.
Yeah, I was about to say there is such little book-wise there,
it's
but
insane.
It's done so well.
And they took like an 18-month hiatus, so it's really, really nice to see.
Yeah, fans supporting the artist to the absolute maximum level on this one.
And I mean, like, it just clearly goes to show that if you give them some time, they will be able to sell some books.
Yeah. And I feel like, hey Jack, I feel like they pressure them a lot to get
sell
this
1 million
done.
copies in their first week, or that's it, you're out.
It's just not. It's not fair.
It's not
like
fair.
they're not paying these people 1 million copies worth of wages to make this happen. They're really not. The amount of money that they make off the back of this is just immense, and it's just stupid that they expect such high numbers. It's like all these all these movie studios. They're like, nah, the movie's got to make $1 billion for it to be successful. Like, why? It just doesn't. I don't understand. TV shows have to have some stupid high percentage of watch for them to continue. So we get all these great shows being cancelled. We get all these great comics being cancelled. We get all this stuff being cancelled because studios think they need to be making the absolute maximum that can be done. But the fact is the top there's only so many slots in the top shelf, and you can't predict that. They couldn't have predicted.
Can't all be Oda's.
Well, you couldn't have predicted when Oda started One Piece. You could not have predicted that it was going to be the scale that it was.
Yep.
Like there was
100%.
no idea that it was going to go beyond what it did. And any other series is the same. You just don't expect it. Like Naruto, you wouldn't have expected just another ninja series. Why did that go Bleach. Off? Why did that go crazy? We don't know. Like there's
Bleach is, it's good, but it starts pretty slow.
Oh yeah, it's got a super slow start.
But it has a very distinct vibe. I think that really helps.
It was a product of its time, and its edginess hit at that right time. Like it was the point where edginess was becoming super popular. And
I feel like it still holds up though. Like I don't think it falls into that much of an edgy realm. What with edginess coming full circle again,
compared to what has happened since, it's pretty light on. It's pretty light on.
But and then you've got like the parody stuff with like Eminence and Shadow. So like it really, I feel like it's evened itself out over like.
It's look like when I say edgy, I feel like the show was just trying to be cool. It pushed to be cool, and that's what it was. Edge was. That's what made it so popular. Is people just saw it.
I miss.
Cool.
I missed all the street fashion that we got in
Yeah.
like early Bleach, which later was reserved for pretty much like the title cards
Yeah.
between chapters, because in the Soul Society they're all wearing the same shit.
Yeah, they're all wearing those freaking robes and stuff. So
which is good for when you're doing a weekly manga. You don't have to think about as much shit.
They don't have to wear as many different clothes. And
oh man, it was a smart move. Anyway, we are getting distracted because I've got some really fun numbers and comparison for pre-anime and post-anime for Blue Box. So Blue Box has also reached 7.5 million copies in circulation.
Nice.
So just before the anime dropped, there were 5 million copies in circulation with 17 volumes. With roughly divided, it's like nearly 300,000 copies per volume. So after the airing of episode 21, which I think they're 2 episodes in front of now, or 24 now, I don't know, anyway. 7.5 million copies, 19 volumes, and nearly 400,000 copies per volume sold. So practically 100,000 copies per volume of a single anime season. This is why they do it.
Yeah. They do these animes so early on because it basically fudges the numbers.
It acts as an advertisement for the manga. You then get sales off the anime. There's the cross pollination. You then have figurines and whatever else extended merchandise. But it's very rare that we get these sort of numbers at like a peek behind the curtain. I just thought it was fun and interesting.
Yeah.
I still need to have a look at Blue Box anime though. I haven't gotten around to it yet. It looks really cute though.
It's cute.
Oh, dude, it looks so
watched
cute.
a bit of it. Look, I've seen a lot of romance stuff over the years. Like, you know, I'm an old fella. I've been watching romance manga and anime for many, many years in all sorts of different genres and areas. There's nothing new happening here.
Yeah.
It's not a bad show. It's not like you shouldn't be watching it. It's good fun. I like the characters. The MCs are both really enjoyable to watch.
Because it balances 3 pillars, right? You've got the romance, you've got badminton and tennis.
So basically it's two sports stars. It's two sports stars. One's a badminton player and the other one is a basketball star.
Damn it.
And then you've got the triptych. So you get the secondary girl in who's a acrobatic dancer. So she does your ribbons and balls and all that sort of stuff. And she's the childhood friend. So there's a sort of a 3-way action going on. Yeah. It is fun. It's good and worth watching. Personally, I watched most of it and then it kind of just dropped off because it's nothing new. So I haven't jumped
apart from the sport focus. I'm getting the feeling that I'm probably still gonna lean more towards like Horimiya for my school romances, because that was just fun and cute, and I liked the bimbo aspect. Himbo stuff.
Himbo stuff is fun. It is fun.
I've forgotten the dude's name. I just remember that they call him a himbo like straight away, and he's got all the piercings. It was really cute. I love that series.
It is fun. It is fun. So definitely jump on Blue. I haven't read it, but I did watch it.
I haven't read this at all. Admittedly, I've only kind of heard of it now that I've seen the numbers. Kono Oto Tomare, Sounds of Life. I think it's a Jump Plus title maybe, but it's got like 7.8 8 million copies sold with 32 volumes in circulation. So they're definitely doing something right. It's got 2 seasons of an anime. I'm always surprised by the sheer amount of content that there is.
Yeah, and the amount of stuff we don't get.
Yeah. It looks like it's on Crunchyroll. I don't know. I think it's a music. Wait.
Oh, you and I are opposites again. It's getting an anime.
Yes. That was one of my takeover because that was one of my next ones.
Sorry.
That's fine.
I spoiled. I just saw it. They've got a sub menu on the Manga Plus feed that's like upcoming anime. So that's a cool little list. I like that. New serialization.
Yeah, so that's going to be starting January next year.
So okay. So it's a little ways off.
Early announcement. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is good. I actually really enjoyed those first few chapters that I read of that. The characters are a lot of fun. Yeah. So definitely worth jumping on board nice and early and checking that out. You got some more numbers for me?
I do. I just was... Here it is. It's going to be loading. This is the key visual for You and I Are Polar Opposites, getting its
nice.
Anime adaptation.
Seeing as... Yeah, keep going. I'm going to look up.
Sorry, what were you going to say? Who's the studio?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I told you I'm going to look it up while you're talking.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Not an idea at all.
You haven't read any?
No.
Oh. Yeah, it's really cutesy stuff.
Kaiju number 8.
Distracting. Yeah. We got more anime announcements?
No, I don't know actually. I think I remember seeing something, but I don't know if we have a date for it yet.
That's good, which means they're taking their time.
18 million copies sold, 15 volumes.
Oh, Jesus. It does pretty
Massive numbers. Yeah.
It does pretty well.
This one I haven't heard of, but it looks cool. Hell Teacher Nube is coming out July.
I'm pretty sure I tried to read some of that.
I think it's an old series that's being rebooted.
Yeah. Like it is an old series. Like
I
want to say 90s. Old. Oh my god.
It looks like early 90s. If this is anything to go by, it looks pretty early 90s.
Yeah. It's
so it looks cool.
This
looks
like
edgy.
I don't I think it's leaning a bit more seinen in its material because it's all about demons and that sort of business. So
yeah,
I predict a bit more violence. Lots, maybe.
Load.
The studio doing Polar Opposites is Lappentrack.
Okay.
I'm not familiar with them. How to Become Ordinary, Undead Girl Murder Farce. Have you seen my Tama Enride? That sounds familiar. Oh, it was that one. Okay. Hopefully it's good. Yes.
So we got the character poll, the secondary one.
Oh yeah, they did say that at the start of the chapter. I forgot about that.
So first up, nothing's really changed. Roughly
doesn't look like it. It looks like Sakamoto may have come up a few notches.
No, he's still at number 8.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I think he's dropped because we've got more presence
boys
on Aoi. So that's all we got was that screen, but this is the actual numbers. So we've got Nagumo number 1, Shin number 2,
Hammer guy.
His name. Yeah.
Hammer guy.
And then like down here we've got is it Aoi, the one that dies?
Maybe.
That's currently residing in X's head.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Let me just get that. Ah, yes. Yeah, the sister. Oh, man, we haven't seen her sister for ages, have we?
She's number 14, actually. But yeah, we haven't seen her for a while. Lou's dropped to spot 15. So it's really interesting.
I'm so surprised she's on the list still. Like
Kisuke's sniper rifle is in the top 20, dude. Kisuke's... Oh, wait, no, it's not Kisuke's sniper rifle.
It's not. It's the character.
Dude. Yeah, I forgot about him. Yeah, no, I loved him. He was fantastic.
Yeah, because you never saw him. He was just the sniper barrel.
The fortune teller. Cool character. There is some recency bias, but not a lot. Like the top 10 is still pretty solidly set from the first one, which I thought was funny that because we only covered it like a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, we did just talk about it not long ago, so it's interesting that they've released it all of a sudden.
So yeah,
ooh, nice. That's a nice page.
Yeah, got some nice little art of the top contenders.
Top 7.
There we go.
Yeah.
I've got one more piece of news.
Okay.
So these are the 2 new series that are dropping on Jump Plus. So with the one coming back, so we've got. That was weird. My headset just dropped.
Okay. So there's a new one from. Okay, you go.
Yeah. So new one coming from the guy that did Shoujo Null.
Yeah, which I found rather interesting. It was an intriguing series. Different, which is what I liked about it. It didn't fit the format that was happening at the time.
I read a lot of it and then kind of got distracted and forgot about it.
I think it lost its way a little bit.
It was unhinged at one point, and
yeah. I feel like it probably would have done better with a different editor.
Yeah. So it kind of looks like the one with Shoujo Null. We've got a writer combination with
writer-artist combination. Yeah. Okay.
And then
this will be interesting.
Dribbling Nuko, Ashi-chan, which I'm not sure
Mononobu.
which one's which. So yeah.
Okay. It'll be interesting. Was there a couple of new series this week? Or was it just the one new series?
I forgot to read.
You forgot to read the one that I told you to read, didn't you?
I did. I ran out of time. I thought I balanced my day properly, but I did
Excuses.
not. And I was making curry till right? I know, right? Yeah, I was going to read it today, but
how long did it take you to make curry?
Took me about an hour actually, but I miscalculated. So honestly, it took more time to cook the rice. But anyway, digressing. We're not here to talk about my dinner.
Maybe we are. So I'm referring to. So there was 2 new series this week. One was Chuck Beans. Did you read Chuck Beans? You didn't, did you? You didn't, did you? It was weird. It was like really weird. And it's not. I was expecting like a full-on gag manga style setup. So far, it just seems kind of weird, not gag as much. It's comedy in the sense that the circumstances have created a comedic, resolution, but it's not like they're referencing anything or they're doing anything crazy or new. It's basically, creature comes from the future back in time to help this kid realign his future so he becomes a better person, essentially. So these Chuck Beans go back in time to help people become better people. So they're robots. Yeah, they're robots sent back in time to do this thing. Anyway, circumstances as per usual when these scenarios happen, the people are like, oh my god, where did you come from? And they explain themselves and they're like, oh, okay, this did not happen this time around. He basically kicked him straight out of his house and then proceeds to lock all of his doors and then call the police.
I mean, fair.
It's hilarious. Like the Chuck Beans is like, oh no, you've got to listen to me, I'm trying to help you, and he's trying to be cheery all the time, and he's talking on the intercom, and the kid's like, if you don't leave, I'm going to call the police. And the Chuck Beans is like, no, don't do that. He's like, well, okay, how about you tell me your story? And he starts chatting away and telling his story. And then like 3 pages later, while he's just finishing his story up, you see the police start
arrive.
to roll up behind him. He's like, oh my God, you called the police on me. It's really quirky. And I think it's timed well. Like on a comedic level, it's timed pretty well. I don't normally enjoy comedy comics too much, but I think this one's got an interesting beat to it. And I hope they don't lean too much into parody and just follow its own vibe.
Yeah.
Because it was so different. So very different to a lot of the stuff that's floating around, which is nice. Very enjoyable.
What was the other one that you mentioned? Was
so the other one was Archie Dribbles Through.
Okay, so there's another new one that we missed last week.
Was there?
Yeah.
Wow.
They're dropping so fast at the moment.
Yeah.
And like with Bug Eager,
Bug
some of them
Ego
are dropping like with a bunch of chapters already.
Yeah, Bug Ego had been running for a while already. So there was okay. So of the new ones I read Chuck Beans, and I love just saying the name. Just saying the name's a lot of fun.
Sounds so dumb.
I read Archie Dribbles Through.
Yep. That was one of the ones that I was just referring to that I forgot was one of the ones that you mentioned.
Yeah. This is like super cute. Super duper cute stuff.
I love the art style, but I didn't need another freaking soccer manga.
It is and
it looks
isn't.
Adorable, so I'm going to give it a chance.
Like it's kind of. I mean, soccer's the connection.
Yeah,
it's the initial connection, and I think eventually it will stop being about soccer, and it will be more about the romance than it will be about the soccer.
It does,
but at the same time, she really loves soccer, and she's like able to be as good as the boys and all that sort of stuff. So
I really like the art style. It the use of color for the cover page is just beautiful.
Yeah. So the initial chapter, they're like 13. So they're young kids.
Yeah, right.
I'm hoping it time skips. I'm hoping it time
Embers,
skips.
they're only 15, but they look like they're 22.
Yeah. That's different. That's a specialized sports community where everybody drinks 3 liters of milk every morning. It's
with protein.
With protein, yeah. That's right. And
I really
whereas
like
this is
super cute.
Yeah, it's a beautiful read.
It kind of like has a similar cuteness to like what Ruby Dragon has. I'm liking the
with a little bit less detail. It's more flippant in its style.
Yeah,
a little bit looser. Whereas Ruby Dragon's a lot tighter, and it's cute, but it's more precise. Yeah. Whereas this is a lot looser, and a little bit more comedic in a sense because of the art style. It produces a little bit more comedy behind it. But one of the things I really like is they at the start it looks like they're about to do the run-in with the toast in the mouth, running into the boy, right? Except she doesn't. So it's and the next page. So go to the next page. Like she's dribbling her way down to school, which is some really nice action panels. I like the sequence of her moving through the same panel. That's fun stuff, and I like that the backgrounds are properly hand drawn.
Yeah,
they're not like a referenced photo that they've just traced over. It actually looks like a hand drawn background. It feels nice.
I think it's specifically the art style. Like it uses a bit more definitely. thicker lines.
Yeah, everything looks thicker. Everything's like bulkier and rounder. It has
almost like a cartoon.
Yeah,
you know, it's weird. I feel like this is the first manga that I've looked at, and it feels like it could be
a like Saturday morning cartoon. Yeah,
like someone's from America has gotten really inspired by manga and has started. So like it feels like the opposite of that. Like they've been more inspired by like Western comics. I don't know. There's something about it that is very unique.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like everything else that's happening at the moment because it's got that cute factor. But it's not like they can't draw. I mean, you look at that bottom panel and you look at that fisheye.
Oh yeah, the perspective shots I've been noticing are gorgeous.
Yeah, they're really, really nice, and they've all got that really hand-drawn feel to them instead of being photo referenced and just turned black and white in the background, which a lot of artists do, or they make it hyper realistic in some way.
There's a lot of depth.
Feels homey, you know.
That's cool. Yeah,
just homey. So yeah, give it a read. But I love this. About to run into him with the toast, and instead she just flicks over the top of his head with the ball and dodges around him.
Even this panel here, it's got like a nice perspective shot down the street. It's cool. I like it.
It's not perfect, but it looks good.
It
just feels right. So.
What was one of the next ones that you?
So the other one I started reading was Love Overkill, which has started last week. So it's on its second chapter. Yeah. I'd started to read the first few pages of this. I'm just like, this doesn't feel like me at all. Like I did not give it a chance whatsoever. And it just looks stupid, and the art style didn't really suit me so much. It just nothing was really vibing with me at all. And when was it? I texted you like a couple of days ago, and I'm like, "You've got to read this."
Yeah, I'm I'm pretty sure you recommended this to me. I'm like, I'm waiting for the butt.
Yeah, and I was like, I gave it a second chance. I'm like, I gotta delve into this and at least give it a chapter. And after the first chapter, I'm just like, okay, I get what's happening here. It's just weird. Like its whole deal is it's weird.
Yeah.
And offbeat, and everybody in the comic book is weird. Like everyone. There is no normal people in this series at all. Everybody is a character out of something.
So it's like the next step up from like what we experienced with a couple of characters in Snowball Earth.
Yeah, it's got that
like
sort of weird,
cast.
The entire cast. I would even say Undead Unluck level.
Yeah, okay.
Where
I
everybody
do
is a
kind of see the
thing.
vibes.
Yeah, everybody is a thing. Not. It's like anybody could have been the main character in the scenario.
Yeah.
That's the kind of vibe I'm getting from this, and it's just
a smart kind of way to do it when you've got a huge ensemble cast. Like everyone's dictated by their thing, and then you expand off that a little bit.
Yeah,
developing those characters.
So it's a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. It's got spurts of violence through it, so it can get pretty hectic for a brief moment.
It's on kaputty again.
And but it's it's not bad. Wasn't what I was expecting.
It's it like has that hyper cute violence that like Marriage Toxin and Undead Unluck.
Yeah, it's got that's what it is. It's got that Marriage Toxin vibe. You know how everybody in Marriage Toxin is just over the top and weird?
Yeah.
This has got that same vibe to it.
Like caricatures of people.
Yes. That's exactly right. It feels like everybody is hyper realistic. Everything is over the top.
So I don't. Oh no! I just missed this one completely. I thought this one was another one that was dumped like Bug Ego, but it's been going since January. So
oops. Okay.
Sirens Won't Sing for You. It kind of gives me early 2000s vibes, just from some of the art that I'm seeing here.
Yeah.
So it'd be another one to have a look at. It's rated teen. I feel like it's not exactly going to be a straight.
It's going to be one of those edgy obsession romances.
I don't know. Something about it. I'm getting a bit of an underlying thing to it.
Yep. Damaged goods kind of scenario.
So there's only 8 chapters for that one at the moment. Another one that I just stumbled upon, there's only 3 chapters to. Darkest Corners of the Heart, also on Manga Plus. Have you seen this one at all?
No. Man, there is so
this one looks like a
hard.
Horror.
I open this app like twice a day.
I know.
Looking to see what's happening, and I still miss stuff. It's just constantly.
The sheer volume just on Manga Plus alone is insane.
Yeah, it's hard to keep track of. And it's just getting bigger and bigger and crazier. So which is fine.
This one kind of looks like a wholesome horror, potentially. A new and exciting therapeutic horror story takes the stage.
Frightening yet gentle.
I want to have a look at this one. Out of all the ones that I found tonight, just looking for the other one that I didn't end up finding.
Yeah.
I think I ended up finding 3 out of the 2 that I was aware of. Oh, it just goes. There it is. So yeah, he's a mangaka himself by the looks of it. So it could get a little meta as well. We'll see.
Okay, I'll give it a bell.
And this is the other one that I found.
Okay, so I gave this one a go.
Cool.
Not really my thing.
Okay. What's it about? Because it looks like Fire Force meets Naruto.
It was just pretty standard shinobi in the new world kind of stuff. I think what I read of it, it just felt pretty standard. Like nothing was happening.
Ninja Police.
Yeah, this is what I mean. It's just like,
oh, I see how it's meant to be pronounced now. I get
newbie.
it. Yeah, Shinobi.
Not
Yeah.
Shinobi, Shinobi. Because he's a newbie.
I couldn't see it when it wasn't colored like that.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Usually an O
I
in
don't know.
there.
Yeah, man, I'm starting to think I do actually have dyslexia going along with the ADHD.
No, it's just so much to look at. And you just sort of scroll over stuff sometimes. Yeah, it's not a series I look at myself getting into anytime soon. But it might be good for some people who enjoy the ninja aspect with a little bit of romance, and I'm going to say between sort of tween to early teen kind of level reading, more so than a later teen. If you want. I'll let you have that
one. This episode is proudly brought to you by us. Please help me fund my crippling manga creating habit. For as little as
it feels crippling sometimes.
For as little as $25, you can get yourself this size book. But mine, not this one. We'll talk about this one shortly after this promo. Completely I don't know why I'm doing it like this, but screw it. Completely lettered and remastered. That's the word I was after. God damn it. Doesn't work.
You got there. You got there.
I know, but yeah, I started off strong. But really appreciate the amazing Logan French cover. So if you do want to get yourself one of those beautiful bad boys, they are $30. We've also got the Kieran Jack Dragon Ball inspired cover. We've got sticker packs, pins, digital copies of all of our books, or the majority of our books, as well as original art. This will be essentially our way of buying Super RBA's way into comic book shops and other bookstores, because that is where they are focused. They are focused on the books, the volumes, more so than the individual floppies. Just a little bit of the business side of things. But yeah, if you help us get to our goal of $1,500, yeah, that's right. For a second, broke myself.
You can print books and everybody can read it, and it's a fantastic story. And what are we inspired by? Fooly Cooly,
Gurren Lagann,
Death Note.
And I'm drawing a massive blank, but like that era of animation.
I'm just like, do it. Explain some stuff. No, it's just it's a really fun action-based story with a lot of lore, because you love lore, man. You are.
Dude.
You're all about.
I kind of need some of it to ground myself in the world, so I lore build a bit before I jump into the nitty gritty. Yeah, no, a lot.
You love to build entire structures before you even start playing in them.
Funnily enough, I feel like SRBA was probably like the one that I've built the least now, after like the amount of work I'm putting into the one that I'm currently building.
That's gonna be a big boy, that one.
It would help if I actually got the link for people to see as well.
Yeah, drop that in there. Let people go ahead.
If it's not for you, not your thing, even if you know someone that would be into anime manga,
tell them it's their thing. Of course, it's
share. Yeah, If you can't afford to back us, please share. It helps out just as much because the algorithm gods have not been kind.
No, they're not. You need to pay the money for them to be kind.
And I don't have any.
Donate to the algorithm gods.
Like, please, sir, can I raise some money? And they're like, give me some money.
We see that you need some money, but first you need to give us money before we give you money. It's right. It's a funny game, that one. Right.
So my recommendation after my Melbourne trip yesterday, Snowball Earth. I probably shouldn't hold it in front of my face because you can't hear it. My voice, that is. I will read you the synopsis.
Yeah, give us the synopsis.
So I had heard about this before, picking it up in store when I was down in Melbourne. So it wasn't a complete sell off the synopsis, but it did help. So in the year 2025, huge beasts from beyond galaxy attacked Earth. In a war that followed, humanity fought back with a giant robot named Yukio, piloted by Tetsuo Yabusame, as the massive alien kaiju swarm closed in on humanity's homeworld. Tetsuo and the Earth Defense Force deployed for the final battle with the invading horde. They lost. Yukio was destroyed in battle, and Tetsuo survived in an escape pod. After 8 years in cold sleep, the escape pod finally lands back on Earth, but when Tetsuo emerges, he finds a world in ruins, entirely frozen beneath a blanket of ice and snow. A snowball Earth. What happened to humanity? How did the planet freeze over? And will Tetsuo be able to keep his last promise to Yukio, which we'll talk about in a minute? The first chapter gives you like 2 different fake outs.
Well, and I really like just the first chapter, really.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
So in the the Tankaban version, they've actually purposely made the title kind of difficult to read.
Yeah.
Because you only get it at the end of chapter 1, which, I mean, if you read the synopsis, kind of spoils it anyway. But yeah, the first chapter is the savior who could not bring salvation, and ends you on this. And it could just be the setting, but also sort of the characters as well. I'm getting super Fujimoto vibes.
It's kind of like Fujimoto Light.
Yeah. So far, anyway.
I like the tragedy aspect of the whole thing. It kind of just sideswipes you. While you didn't tell me anything about it. You just like, read this thing, and I'm just like, okay. So I went and read that thing. I'm like, what? Like, when's the snowball come into this? And I'm sort of reading along.
Because it literally starts you off like straight away kaijus, giant mech suit, space battle, and you're like, what is going on?
The exposition's like really well paced. So that's one thing I'm gonna get it. Like the first chapter is really well organized and paced. It gives you the exact amount of information. Well, it's not huge on dialogue, but it's enough to push the story along and make you feel for certain characters in that first chapter, and give you a little bit of a grounding as to why the hero is the way he is, and what the future might hold for him. It's got a little bit of Fujimoto taste to it, that things are weird, but it's also got a little bit of Zom 100 kind of vibe to it too.
Yeah.
Where things are not what you expect.
some really cool
some beautiful
action
action work in it. But despite how wonderful the actions is,
feels a little space opera at the start, at least.
Initially, yeah, and that's what they were going for. He was going for that really classic space opera, boy genius pilot with giant robot saves the Earth, all that sort of stuff. Your stock standard material for a story of that particular aperture. It just throws it on its head a little bit.
And like we don't really get like a lot of information. It just goes, there's a robot, seemingly sentient, protesting its own self-destruct mechanism. His dad's unhinged, and also I'm assuming absentee father kind of deal because he doesn't remember his face.
It was very Shinji sort of scenario.
Yeah, but like ramped up to comedic scales.
Yes.
It was like very much so getting the robot, but it was like getting the robot because it's making me money.
And then, his whole segregation from population was a fascinating aspect that I really enjoyed because
dude can't read and write.
Not properly because he skipped out on school
which is something that they never really touch on in these sort of things.
No, they don't. They're always good kids.
Yeah. They're either geniuses and know everything already, or they just never touch on it.
Yeah, and that's where I guess Evangelion does break that boundary a little bit, because they do spend a bit of time in school in between.
Well, yeah, also they're a bit older. They're like 16, 17, around that sort of age ground, right?
He's 15, yeah?
I can't remember how old Shinji is.
Oh, no. Yeah, they're about 14, 15.
I thought they were older than that. I thought they were like 16.
No, they're really young, which makes you feel even more uncomfortable.
A little bit.
Yeah. It makes that hospital scene even more awkward.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
This is look, Snowball Earth getting like we're segueing a little bit there because the comparisons are there briefly.
Yeah. Well, he's 9-year-old when he starts taking over and drops out of school sort of thing to pilot the robot.
because he automatically becomes the hero of Earth because he's piloting this robot and then feels segregated from society because everybody treats him as the hero.
Because he didn't want the robot. He felt sorry for the robot and didn't want it to self-destruct.
No, that was his excuse.
I'll pilot you.
Yeah, that was his excuse for getting away from society.
Oh yeah, no, but like the initial thing that got him to pilot the robot.
Yeah. Here's an opportunity.
And then following that was actually we need to talk about it. The mad anxiety this dude has.
Insanely crippling. When I've seen people with bad anxiety before, but this guy is crippling, like proper crippling anxiety.
It ties into that whole education side of things because through his formative years, he was piloting a mech and not going to school and not interacting with other kids.
He was hanging out with his AI partner who was a robot.
So like there's a lot of like trope deconstructions in it, which I guess where like a lot of the Zom 100 elements probably feel like they're coming from as well.
Yeah.
The kaiju are weird. I can't take them seriously at all. They look
so goofy. The big eyeball.
They look like giant axolotls, and I just want to give them a hug.
They got the googly eyes happening too. I also like the aspect that when he's interacting with people, he can almost only express himself in taglines from anime and manga.
Yeah. Or he completely butchers it and does
Thank
shit like this.
you.
Tangpo!
And does really crazy, disgusting expressions on his face that make him look sus. And everybody's like, this guy looks sus.
I love the the book that he's basing his social interactions off of is clearly like a parody of like a self-help book.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like it feel like if you wish to find a true friend, the following 777 steps must be fulfilled. And like random arbitrary number. Hang on. They show it later on, but I love some of the wording that you get first up. So number 1 is encounters. Get out of the house. You can meet people at school, the office, cafes, etc. Introduce yourself. Look them in the eyes or the chest and introduce yourself with a smile. You don't have to tell them your real name if you don't want to. Like, what unhinged advice is this?
What kind of friends are you trying to make?
Gather information. One who controls information controls all. So, like, straight off the bat, it's weird as shit. And even his AI Yukio friend is like, bro, maybe don't take this so seriously.
Like, you probably shouldn't be following that book there.
Oh man, but it's definitely led to a really fun interaction with some of the survivors. I'm really excited to learn more about what's happened to Earth, whether or not we did it to ourselves, or if the kaiju are terraforming us. What's going on? It's like,
did we do this?
There was some time dilation as well. So
it's 8 years.
Yeah. So 8 years since the battle.
The battle. But how long? Which means
how
8
long
years
did
to get there? No.
Yeah. So there's.
So it could have been 4 years. Let's say it took them to travel there.
So, yeah, there's like a little bit of time lapse that we're not 100% on. I haven't cared enough to do the math, but it's at least 8 years.
Yeah, well, it could be anywhere between 8 years to 30 years, for all we know.
Yeah. But actually, you're right, because that would still leave like kids that were alive during the time that this all started aged up, because there's a couple of survivors that do recognize him towards the end of the first Tankobon. So there's 5 chapters. Is that roughly how far you got in?
No, I got like 2 deep. So
okay.
Yeah. I'm still relatively early on, but I am incredibly fascinated by his interactions with people, and I think that's what's going to drive me to keep reading it more so than what's happening with the world.
Yeah, it's the same with me, but it's a very close second for the mystery. I just kind of for it to be like the entire premise after essentially another manga setup for a first chapter. I'm very interested to see what they're planning to lay out. This will be a slight spoiler for you, but it looks like they're leaning down the route of humanoids as well. Don't know how big that is, because that's on Tokyo Tower. So
it's pretty big. That's pretty big.
It could be really high up. Yeah, like there's a lot of cool shit in here.
Yeah, definitely. It's a good read.
He takes down a kaiju without
a robot.
his mech suit just using a little excavator. Dude,
the guy on the excavator.
Yeah, that was amazing. I saw it coming, but I'm like,
yeah,
he's already dead. He's not reacted to a single thing that's happened. But it was still so well executed.
yeah, yep. And the way he made the little grave for him as well, with his frozen glasses.
Yeah,
on the top. Yeah.
With some rebar. But yeah, it's definitely one that I would recommend, and I will be continuing. I'm just gonna have to figure out if there's a spot to read it week to week. Otherwise, it's going to be the same as Zone 100 for me, and I'll forget about it until it gets an anime.
Which, probably won't.
Which would be a good sign.
But at the same time, it's kind of got those Fire Punch vibes.
Speaking of, I actually finished my my Fire Punch collection, so I've got all 8 copies now.
Nice. I keep telling people to read it.
I'm going to force so many people to read it now that I've got the full set. It's only 8 books. So I'm just going to be like, here, go, read it.
I'm sorry.
Be consumed by the madness.
It's still better than Chainsaw Man. But,
It's what I'm hoping Snowball Earth will also tackle with the deconstructions of mech pilots and other things that they've already woven into. I'm hoping that they really thought about the post-apocalypse that they're in, which seems like it. So far, I think it'd be the next chapter that you're up to. So chapter 3, there is the people that he meets essentially deconstruct the kaiju for use. So meat for food, skin, bones, oil.
Number 8 style.
Yeah. So it's kaiju. It feels like kaiju number 8 meets Fire Punch. That the kaiju number 8 side of it really mellowing out a lot of the Fujimoto Fire Punch aspects. So I'm excited to see where it goes.
Yep. Cool. I too am excited.
Yeah, I didn't watch Momentarily Lily. I'm sorry.
Neither did I. I kind
of.
No.
I'm sorry. This week's been rough.
It's hard to watch.
I needed just good things coming into my brain.
I don't mind watching junk if it's entertaining because it's comedy worthy. And this just isn't. It's not even funny. It's just bad.
It's weird.
And I hate it.
It like we talked about last week, it feels like 3 different series boiled into one, with unnecessary CGI. Getting better, but still not great.
No, they need to really focus on writing and understanding how character growth and plot structure works. So essentially, just the whole thing.
I did watch actually how I got onto Momentary Lily. I think initially was one of the other YouTubers, AniTubers that does the hottest trash, and apparently, what's her face, the one with the personality, the physics engine tied to her chest is even insane while she's having a death scene. They're just all over the place. She's bleeding out the mouth and lying on the ground, and they just
it's like ragdoll effect.
Pretty much. At some point it's got to be on purpose, right?
It's hand drawn, man. It can't be anything but. That's right. Someone was paid to do that on a daily basis.
No, I feel like they just
line them up and go on. You're the boob guy. That's your job from now on. Oh man.
Well, as we're wrapping up, please thank you for tuning in again this week. Please leave a like and a comment of what you're reading, both for our research, our own research to see what we should be reading and covering.
Yeah.
And also the engagement helps us out a lot. So
I love being engaged.
Chuck us on the background, get us some watch time. Man, I don't care. Just help us grow the channel.
Mute us and let us play in the background. Whatever.
That's right. Share us with your friends, family. If you got inside dogs and they're like really they get separation anxiety, just chuck us on for a couple hours.
That's right.
We'll get a playlist.
Soothing voice.
Yeah. We'll be like, hey pup, hey puppa, who's a good boy. And then that's it. They'll be nice and calm.
Docile. They'll be docile.
That's the word. Catch you later, Nerdburger. And yes, if you can also share the Kickstarter, it'd be much appreciated. Needs all the help we can get at the moment. Yeah. And we will see you next week at 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Is there anything else? I feel like that's everything.
I think we're good for this week. Yeah. We'll forget. We'll remember something. We'll remember something as soon as this is done, and then yeah.
It's weird at the moment. There's so many new properties to have a look at that they usually space these out. It feels like we've gotten a new series every week for the last 5 weeks.
It does feel
maybe even longer.
Like they're really opening the floodgates at the moment.
Yeah. There's even a few one-shots that I haven't been able to have a look at yet.
So many.
Alrighty. We'll talk more next week.
Yes.
John.